Alright, what's going on everybody? It's me, QuickBasic, and welcome to the first ever demo video showing off a project I'm currently working on that I'm calling Adventure Game Engine. And the whole idea behind this is to take the classic text adventures that I grew up with and give them slightly more of a modern makeover when it comes to just the visual presentation and some of the ways we interact with the games. So one of the things you'll notice right away is that the location where we are is already here on the screen, and the first screen right now is just an introduction where it's saying welcome to Adventure Game Engine playable demo. It tells you the goals, right? Right now the demo that you can download from itch.io is a playable demo that you can run on Windows, Mac, or Linux, and it's just got a sample quote-unquote adventure baked into the program right now to just demonstrate navigating rooms and dealing with managing inventory. So it's very simple, very rudimentary. However, the goal will be I'm ultimately going to create an editor that will allow me to create rooms and descriptions and objects and items and doors and directions. And the engine I'm mostly creating for me to create an adventure game, but obviously having the editor created means anybody can create their own adventures and run them in this adventure game engine. And yes, I know there are plenty of these things already out there, like the Zork interpreter and things like that. And so what I'm hoping to have different in mind mostly is just the way the information is presented on the screen. And so I've also added the ability to have a screen that has nothing but information. So I've got a few of these information screens because the idea is in interactive fiction, which is now what we call adventure games, sometimes you just want to be able to tell story. So it's not always going to be about going into a room and just exploring a room and picking things up and moving through different doorways and hallways. Sometimes you just want to be able to throw some information on the screen that's kind of like a narrative. So the ability to have a room or a location that is really just there for information is already built in, so you can really start to flesh things out and add more kind of story-driven elements to this. That's one thing I'm hoping that's slightly unique. The way the screen's going to be laid out with information on here, where you're gonna see where you are. For example, right now it says I'm at the main entrance, right? And so you have on your status display here, you have telling you the name of the location, and then you have kind of the thicker description of that, like you find yourself in the entrance to Grand Manor, the estate of Professor Egos Grand. And the manor has been abandoned for many years, and at the request of a new real estate agent, you've been asked to inspect the property and report back on the general condition, as well as determine areas of repair, etc., etc. And then even says, to the north, the front door beckons your entrance. So I'm not going to give away any spoilers because I'm hoping people are going to download this and try this. So I don't want to let you know what's in the room too much, but I want to give you an example of some of the hotkeys. So right now I'm carrying one item that is my revolver. And if I want to know what the available commands are right now, if I press H for help or I press the question mark, I'm going to see what my available commands are down here. So it's basically showing me my hotkeys. So N for north, S for south, etc. I have the ability to drop an item, and because I'm already using D for down, up and down, and I might change that later on, so I couldn't use D to drop, so now I'm having R to release an item. Since I'm carrying a revolver, if I press R, it's saying which item do I want to drop, and I'm going to press 1 because that's the number of the item I have. And then you'll see what has happened here is that it's left my inventory and it's gone into the room. So now I can see what's in the room. So this is kind of my idea here. I wanted to be able to have the room description always on the screen. I wanted to be able to have the available directions you can travel always on the screen. The objects in the room are going to be there, and the objects in your inventory are going to be there. So this information is always going to be available, so you don't have to type in look to see where you are. You don't have to type in inventory to see what you're carrying. That information will always be on the screen. So you can just focus on the story and the adventure. Where am I? Where can I go? What can I interact with? And now that I've dropped the revolver, if I want to pick it back up again, I can press G to get or P to pick up. It's going to say which item, and I press 1 for revolver, and then boom, that's back in my inventory, right? And then I can press Q to quit or no, and that is a real quick, dirty way of showing you what this is looking like. There is about 9 or 10 rooms in here that you can explore. There are 6 items you can find, and I would love to have people just kind of test this. Let me know what you think about the kind of look and feel of it, and also give me some feedback and suggestions. I'm not going to guarantee I'm going to take every suggestion, but love to hear what people think about it. The goal is to not lose anything that we loved about these text adventures and interactive fiction type games, but to allow you to kind of speed run through them to a degree where you don't have to do as much typing, where there's going to be hotkeys and quick navigations and the less repetitive reminding yourself what's going on. So that's the goal, and what it looks like and what the keys are and the interface and layout might change over time based on as I add things and based on suggestions. So I think I've said more than enough. Let me know what you think about it. Give it a download. Unzip the file, run it on Windows, Mac, or Linux, and tell me what you think. Thanks.